Hello and welcome. This lesson is going to be about growth and decay word problems, part 1. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to learn how to change percentage into decimals. It's very simple. All you have to do is divide it by 100. So on the calculator, you can just do 80 divided by 100, and what you get is 0.80. And then if you divide 140 by 100, you get 1.40. And 3 divided by 100 is 0.03. And 5.2 divided by 100 is 0.052. So all you have to do is divide by 100. Another way that you can do, and I'm going to change colors here, is you can write the number. So here you write 80. And you know that the decimal point is right there. But because you're dividing by 100, you're going to move 2 decimal places to the left. So that means the decimal point goes right there. So if I did 140, the decimal point is right there. So you move 2 decimal places to the left, and the decimal point ends right there. If I start with 3, the decimal point is right there. So you're going to move 1 house, 2 houses, and the decimal point is right there. Because there's an empty house here, you put a 0, and you put a 0 before the decimal point. And last one is 5.2. So the decimal point is right there. So you're going to move 1, 2. Decimal place goes right there. You fill the empty houses with zeros. So there you go. You can change the percentage by using the calculator. All you have to do is take the number and divide by 100, and you get the decimals. Or you can move the decimal point 2 decimal places to the left. Continuing on, today we're going to talk about some keywords for word problems. So we talked about growth versus decay. Some words that means growth is grow and increase, and decay is decline, die, and decrease. Also, one thing you need to remember, if it's growth, the rate is going to be 1 plus the percentage in decimals. And if it's decay, the rate is going to be 1 minus percent in decimals. And we're going to see that in the examples today. So please remember, growth, 1 plus the percentage in decimals. Decay, 1 minus percentage in decimals. So let's look at the first example here. First example, we have Malcolm deposits $10,000 into an account that increases by 5.2% each year. I see the keyword increase, so that means I'm going to add. And the problem says write a function that represents the situation and how much money would there be in the account after 7 years. So right there, I'm going to start with part A. And we're going to identify the rate, the y-intercept, and once we have that, we can write the equation for this problem. So the rate, if you notice right there, this says increases. We have a percentage. Let's change that to a decimal. So if you notice, the decimal place is right there. I'm going to move 1, 2 places to the left. So it'll be 0.052. And because it increases, I'm going to add the 1. So the rate's going to be 1 plus 0.052, which is equal to 1.052. So that's going to be my rate. My y-intercept, another word for y-intercept, is the initial value. So how much is the initial amount on this problem? Well, the initial amount is $10,000. So we're going to put right there $10,000. So the equation is going to be y equals, the y-intercept is $10,000, and the rate is 1.052 raised to the x. So right there is the equation that represents the situation. That's part A of the problem. Now let's do part B. Part B says, what happens after 7 years? How much money will I have in the bank after 7 years? So we copy the equation that we found, but instead of x, we're going to use 7 years instead of x. So that means instead of x here, I put a 7, and then I put this information in the calculator. So let's pull out our calculator. So here I have my calculator, so I'm going to write 10,000 parentheses 1.052 close parentheses raised to the 7th. I'm going to get 14,259,693. Okay, so let's write it down. 14,259.6931, etc. Usually when we talk about money, we're going to stop 2 digits to the right. So we're going to stop right there. So this would be 14,259.69. And that's it. That's how much money we'll have in the account after 7 years. All right, let's go on to the next problem. The next problem talks about a mouse population is 25,000 and is decreasing in size at a rate of 20% each year. Write a function that represents the situation, and what will the mouse population be after 3 years? Well, I notice it's decreasing, so I'm going to be a minus. So let's go over here and write the rate. And because it's a minus, I know it's going to be 1 minus the rate. The rate here is 20%. So 20% is going to be 1, 2. So decimal place is right there. Or you can also use the calculator. 20 divided by 100 is 0.20. So we'll write 0.20. And 1 minus 0.20 is 0.80. Okay, so that's our rate. And our y-intercept is going to be our initial value. So if you notice, the problem gives us the initial value of 25,000. And we're going to write the equation. And if you remember, you write y equals the y-intercept, and you open parentheses and you put the rate. In this case is 0.80 raised to the x. So right there, that's part A, our equation that represents the situation. Now we're going to do letter B. Letter B, basically we copy the equation that we have found, but instead of x, we're going to substitute the x with the number that the problem gives us. And this case is 3 years. So instead of x, we're going to put 3 for the exponent. And then we're going to bring a calculator and we're going to write 25,000, open parentheses, 0.80, close parentheses, raised to the third power, gives us 12,800. So this would be 12,800. And there we go. That's our answer. All right, let's go on to the next problem. Okay, the next problem says the number of rabbits at a farm doubles every year. Currently, there are 24 rabbits. Write a function that represents the situation. What will the population of rabbits be in 4 years? Well, doubles is not a percentage. basically doubles means is 2 times. So that means for the rate, we don't have to add or subtract from 1. We just have to write the rate, which is 2. So please be careful. On the previous problems, we're talking about percentage. And if it's percentage, then you have to either add or subtract from 1. Okay, the percentage changed to decimals. This one, I don't have percentage, so this will be our rate. Double is 2. And then we have the y-intercept. And the y-intercept is the initial value. And we notice that right now we have the initial value of 24 rabbits. So with that, we can write the equation. And the equation is going to be y equals, the initial value is 24, or the y-intercept is 24, open parenthesis, raised to the x, and inside is going to be your 2. So always remember, first the y-intercept, and then second the rate, okay? And then part B, we copy the formula that we found, or the equation, and instead of x, we're going to use the number that they gave us. In this case, instead of x, we're going to write the number 4. Then we pull out a calculator and we evaluate. So 24, oops, need to click right here, and it will be 24, open parenthesis, 2, close parenthesis, raised to the 4th power. And press, and we have the answer to be 384. There we go. So this concludes part 1 of lesson 6. So right now you'll be able to do assignment 6.1, where you're going to see problems similar to these ones. So thank you very much for your time. I hope this video was helpful, and have a great day. Bye-bye.